as the formation lap is about to begin, and we see one of the most heartwarming stories in karting in the last 5-6 years. Alexander Bondarev, the Phoenix, they call him, and the man from Ukraine who had a very nasty accident midway through last year. He's bounced back in form and is now leading the European Championship and also fighting for supremacy in the Euro Series. Tibor Ramakas alongside him on the front row of the grid. Jack Eilif and Christian Costoya from Tiziano Monza and Noah Wolf. Then Oliver Kinmark and Jindro Pest.
Sticking with that inside line, not switching to the outside. He does not want Costoya to follow him along. This time he'll have Eilif. Into the tram lines we go. And are we going to be going first time of asking? It looks good. Green lights go out and a great start from Bondarev. And actually the top three, Eilif and Tiziano Monza, follow as well. All three of them switching to the outside and go 1, 2, 3 as they dive down in towards turn number 2 now. And watch that inside line there. You don't want to be on the outside because it can very easily go wrong for you. But everyone gets away well.
Eilif had a real look at Bondarev there through turn 5, decided to bail out of it, and that has really given everybody else the chance to move up. Ramakas is getting some support from Monza down into the hairpin. Monza is the one who cuts through and up into third position. Great run from Tizi Monza, who has now got himself into third position at the expense of the 51 of Christian Costoya. He gets bailed out there, and unfortunately down to 5th position as there's a little bit of nudging going on as they work their way through the S's, but Bondarev still leads the way. Eilif in second place. Third now is Tiziano Monza, who managed to help Tibor Ramakas down the back straight and then turned rogue on him to get into third position. Great recovery and very decent vision indeed from Monza. He is absolutely on it this weekend.
Yeah, he went with them at the start of the race. It was Bondarev, Eilif and Monza who got the good getaway from the start-finish line, so he was in third place before they even got to turn 1, so it was a solid little attempt at driving there.
Ramakas got the move, sorry. Ramakas into third place and a couple of drivers kicking up the dust through the S's. Got to be careful. Down onto the back straight. We've got 3 or 4 karts wide. And is that the move on Ramakas again from Monza? I think it is. So Monza's actually got through, and so too has Costoya. So Monza's back to third. Costoya's through to 4th at the expense of the Belgian Tibor Ramakas. And Marius Barryberg is right up there in P6. His confidence has skyrocketed since his Academy Trophy win at Trinech earlier this year.
Yeah, it certainly has. We did say that's going to be a confidence booster for him, and it certainly has worked out just like that. There he is in P6.
Costoya coming for third.
Yep, down the inside, gets that one done. In towards turn 1. Very tricky sort of overtaking spot there, but keep an eye because, well, you've got Tibor Ramakas right there in that fray. He has not had a good start here from the front row.
Now he's got back into 4th position, though. He's managed to make the move on Monza. Marius Barryberg decides to be a little bit patient. That was a little bit of a late-breaking moment from Barryberg. Monza, the innocent victim in that one, just got a little bit rubbed up. And now they come down to the braking zone. Monza defends valiantly from the Norwegian, who tries to cut in around the outside. And Monza has to concede as Marius Barryberg gets through into 5th position in the DPK.
Yeah, now that's a heavy dent he's got in that front nose now. He's going to have to be careful that that hasn't dropped. It is looking just that fraction wobbly, but it looks okay there. Back over the start-finish line they will go round the final corner, and again slipstream effect will kick in here, but I don't think they're going to have the momentum down in towards turn 1 this time around. It's actually a relatively short start-finish straight here at Cremona, isn't it? It's a tight, compact circuit. There's a lot going on in such a small space.
Yeah, it's a very busy race circuit is the best way to describe it. Bondarev out in front of Eilif and Costoya. Then it is Ramakas, Barryberg and Monza. Matt Corby, the Swiss driver, doing well in 7th place in front of the British driver Noah Wolf. Then it is Zhao Yushun from China in front of Sweden's Oliver Kinmark. Then Matthias Ortweiler of Colombia from Jindro Peschel of the Czech Republic. Very good racing going on in the mid-pack. Of the drivers charging their way through. Well, some good moves from Matthias Ortweiler, the Colombian up 8 places. Andy Consani, the Frenchman, up 7, so doing a fair job. Andy Consani, of course, the son of the GT racer Robert Consani, who did a fantastic job earlier this season, both at Monza and Paul Ricard, and that's a big drift wide from the VDK of the 92, I should say, of Matt Corby. So Corby losing it out of the final turn. And that has really impeded him. Another driver on the move, by the way, is another of the DPK racers from Switzerland, and that is Chiara Batig. She has worked her way to 18th position as Costoya has caught and passed his teammate Jack Eilif.
Yep, changes happening all the way throughout the field this time around, but the biggest mover out there...
Oh, we've had an incident. Sorry, 2 karts have come off there at the S's. So just out of our commentary box window, you could just about see that on the pictures as well. But it looks like one of the Formula K karts has gone off the road. So that is Peschel, and with Matt Corby. So 2 big names, Matt Corby and Jindro Peschel, unfortunately have crashed out in the middle of the circuit.
Yeah, big shame for that one, but eyes on the battle here for 3rd place. still kicking off. Ramaker's still there in P4, wanting to get the move done here on Eilif. Eilif not getting the opportunity really to let him through, but now he does, and through goes Ramaker's and moves up now into P3. That was just before the yellows that they come through in this section here. It's just off the end of this corner here behind those barriers. Green flag conditions back out now, and Ramaker's will have the opportunity to close down on Christian Costoy now, but he is running out of time. Half race distance now is complete of this race. Certainly the battle for second place is far from over.
Yeah, Matt Corby was determined to try and get going again, and that sort of delayed the recovery of his kart. He only gets one chance to push start it, but the kart was embedded so heavily in the grass he couldn't actually get it going again. So Costoya in second, being reined in now by Tibor Ramakers. Jack Eilif still in the mix. There's Tiziano Monza. He's worked his way back into P5 in front of Barry Berg and Noah Wolf. So Noah Wolf is going to work his heart out here to try and get into the top six. The Leclerc by Lennox driver, still in his first full season in Europe. Here he goes. Big move from Noah Wolf. Excellently done there on the inside of the Norwegian. Watch out in the background because Oliver Kinmark is going to try and make his impression as he tries to cut through and do a fine job as on the back straight. A big move. Oh, that's Marius Barryberg getting two wheels on the grass, and that's really caught him out as Oliver Kinmark has managed to get through into seventh.
So, changes still happening all the way throughout. Kansani's up 10 places as well. He's up to P12 now. Is Andy Kansani. Keep an eye on him. There is your man there, Matt Corby. And he has not had a good run on this one. Ran wide out of the final corner as well, didn't he? So maybe there was a problem with the kart that maybe even forced that incident to happen at the chicane.
So Thibaut Ramakers really starting to hassle Christian Costoya. Three drivers in the top three that have all won races so far this week. Bondarev twice, Costoya and Ramakers one apiece yesterday. So now somebody has got to break the deadlock, and certainly at the moment Bondarev in the form of his life. Here comes Ramakers diving through on the inside of Christian Costoya. Can he shut it down on the exit of the apex? No problems at all for the Belgian as he continues to run in fine form, but Costoya is already trying to seek a way to come back at him, but he had to bail out of the left-hander. He's already opened up about 2 car lengths.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing all right on this one. I mean, he's fastest lap on that last one, 49.456. Certainly is showing that he's got some pace here, and look at the gap that he's opened up already across the start-finish line. There is a couple of laps left in this one. Last lap board is not out yet. That will come out at the end of this one. Has Ramaker's got enough to close in on Bondarev here? I think it's too much to ask for. It's 9/10 is the gap, but he is running around 5/10 faster than Bondarev.
He definitely has the potential. Now that Bondarev knows he's there, he'll probably step up the attack a little bit more to counteract. But Bondarev doing a fair job out in front of Ramakers, then Costoya, Eilif, Wolf, Monza, Kinmark and Zhao Yu. And then Andy Consani is absolutely storming Andy Consani up to 9th place now. That's 13 places gained for the Frenchman. So Andy Consani doing a fair job as Matthias Orjuela got caught out there by Barryberg, Clark and Aksoy. As into the final lap goes Bondarev. And look at Ramakers. He is doing everything he possibly can to chip away at this lead.
He really is. I mean, look at that. Now 7/10 of a second. Final lap board is out. I've got to say, if he pushes that a little bit too hard, he might scupper his tyres more than he'll like. But certainly, he's proving a point here.
Yeah, it's a very good point. You can't afford to push your tyres too hard just to win one heat, because obviously the drivers keep these tyres. They bolt them onto the kart at the start of qualifying, and you keep them on the kart all the way through to the end of the superheat at the end of Saturday morning. And then you get a fresh set for the final. So you've got to be cautious as much as you have aggressive. Mind you, Ramakers hasn't read that script. He's doing everything he possibly can to close up on Bondarev and give him a nasty scare at the end of the race. However, Bondarev is going to hold on and make it 150 points out of 150 points. 3 wins out of 3. Ramakers and Costoya in his wake. Eilif in 4th position in front of the very talented Noah Wolf, ahead of Kinmark and Tiziano Monza. Great battles from those two as well. Shin Zhao Yu, Adi Consani, and Jarrett Clark. Where did he come from on the final couple of laps? Jarrett Clark managing to get himself into the top 10 there in fine style in front of Aksoy. And another big charge, Chiara Batig, the Swiss lady, all the way up to 12th position. Good work from the driver who is part of the Alpine Race Her program and was at the British Grand Prix last week, clearly getting divine intervention.
Yeah, exactly. That is a nice, solid run from there. Certainly found the WAF. There's a look then at the provisional classifications at the end of that one. Bondarev from Ramakers, Costoya from Eilif, Wolf from Kinmark, Monza, Sun Zhao Yu, and Kasani. Jarrett Clark rounds out the top 10 after gaining 6 positions. Alpak Soy from Kia quick one. Here's a look then at some of the highlights, and again, good start then from that inside row. Bondarev, Iliff and Monza actually got the jump on the rest of the field before they even made it to turn 1. Ramaker's certainly caught sleeping at the line. He would then end up in P4 at the start of that one. It was Noah Wolf who was on the outside going in towards turn number 2 on the first lap. Certainly not where you want to be, but he did make that work. He then finished this race in P5 after gaining 1 position. This was the moment then that the 2 Paralins went to work on each other, Castoya and Iliff, fighting their way through. Castoya would get the move done. And then Marius Bergberg here, unfortunately, with those little comings together, would lose out a lot of that front bumper, and he would drop down the order just that little bit, so not the result he will have wanted. But still, the rest of the race went pretty solid, and for this man here, Timo Ramaker certainly found his way forward at the end of that race, getting overtake left, right and centre, with Wolf getting that move done at the end of the race, getting past Oliver Kinmark as well as Tiziano Monza. But for Matt Corby, his race ended prematurely, running wide out of the final corner, and then are coming together as well at the chicane. But checker flag would go out, and well, for Bondarev, it was all he needed. Another race win, 150 intermediate classification points. Certainly a very good weekend for him.
Yeah, I don't think Timo Ramakers is done here. He's in there in second position, chasing down Alex